just gonna walk a little bit and then stretch to get started with the session. And that's me, ready to go. Gonna do some handstand stuff, and then I'm gonna train legs. I think it's probably been a while since I've done any sort of training of my calves, but I don't want to be one of those sorts of guys that have a nice looking upper body, but then like skinny legs, particularly calves. Nah, I'm good with that. I don't want that. I'm feeling ready for this session, to be honest. Like I was saying in my diaries, my PT diaries, within the stages of change, talk about being my own superhero. I'm ready for that. I'm ready to be my own Superman, literally. Just except without the ability to fly and stuff. Hey, I might not be able to fly with my body alone, but it doesn't mean I can't get tickets, airplane tickets. That'll do. But that'd be for way later on in the future, but who knows? Maybe a couple of years from now, I might be working out in a different country. Who knows? Going on a holiday or something. Like maybe a different country within the UK to begin with, but then maybe eventually like France or something, and then way further away. Like something like go through calisthenics and stuff. Not that I got the idea from him, but shout out to him though. No animosity within that comment whatsoever. Yeah man, ready to go and start training soon. I don't want to do handstands after I've trained legs, because then I'd be feeling really tired and I might just not do it at all. So I'll do that first and then I'll train legs. I'm ready to finally get that kick onto the wall, and in that sense be my own superhero, do something that I've been wanting to do for the longest time. Yep. I'll probably go until it reaches 3 minutes on the treadmill. It's 2 minutes 25, and then I'll start stretching a little bit here and there, and I'll be ready to go, ready to do this, to get my first kick on the wall. Hopefully, we'll see. I'll definitely give it many goes though, many tries. "15 seconds to go. I'm feeling hungry though. I'm gonna have a drink, and that's me. I probably should always bring a little bit of food, whether it be like snacks or something. Have a little bit of simple carbs, some sugars for extra energy, to do the lifts or calisthenics, whatever I'm doing. Right, it's been 3 minutes. I'm gonna stretch and then ready to go. That's better. 21. I should work on flexibility for sure. I should not be feeling this tight, especially at 21. That's what you get when you don't work on flexibility. Oh yeah, that feels nice. It's go time. Let's do this. I didn't realise how close I was on that first go with the headstand. That felt like I was going to go too far, but the wall is there. It's not like I'm just going to topple over. But even still, that definitely felt strange. I'm going to go for it again. I definitely have got this. And then from there, practice with kicking up with the handstands. There you go.
Może 2,5 kg. Znaczy, pomagają ci w Polsce nie da. Bo już nawet nie ma to ja sam całkowicie, no. Ale właśnie jak też ważne jest właśnie trzymanie do dołu, jak nie masz siły do głowy, no to ten.
Tak, do dołu jest bardzo i też zawsze pracuje.
Tutaj mieć pełne, takie typowo to podniosłeś 2 razy, później zapeszajcie, bo bardziej asekuracja, bo widziałem na się wycinało.
I forgot how much strain that puts on my spine, so I'm just going on the bar to decompress. Right. Seeing as that's how it felt with the handstand in terms of kicking up, I can expect a similar feeling. The process is basically going to be the same. I remember this when this shirt used to be so large, it must have shrunk and washed. Just come up with an idea. I'm thinking, instead of trying to basically force myself to kick up on the wall, which I've been wanting to do for over half a year now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just try and get into the kick up motion just without any wall support whatsoever, and to just practice it slowly and then get more comfortable with that. Once I've done that, I should be able to do it eventually. Yeah, there's not going to be much footage for the rest of this session though, because the phone's probably on like 9 or 8% battery. No wonder why I've been struggling with the handstands. It's like I don't have any muscle memory of how to do it, and like really no understanding of how to get there. Right. Yeah. So when I get into handstand position, basically, I'll be lifting the opposite leg that I kick up when starting. So if I'm lifting my left leg, then I'll be kicking up with my right leg to get into position, to balance. All right then. I could work on that timing though, with my hands on my feet. No, so you will be kicking the same leg up to get into position like this. So like what I'm trying to say is, like the leg that I lift up like this is the same leg I used to kick up to get into the handstand position. I got that mixed up. So that'll be driving force. Definitely getting there. Alright, because my phone battery's on 3% and I don't have my charger, can't film anything else for now, but I'm still going to go through with trying to make progress with this handstand stuff, and I'll just have to report back after I put my phone on charge. I'll do that, and then my leg session is planned. I'm going to keep going with this, but I'm only going to be able to report back the rest because no charger. So that's it for from me in the gym for now. Unfortunately, I've made so much progress, but it's all I can show. Oh, so close. Oh. Oh. Come on. Definitely have made some progress. I try to get my first handstand on camera, but I'm not gonna do that today. It's not for me because the battery ran out. That's what I was gonna say. However, it seems like I'm definitely getting there, and I might get it within the week or within 7 days from now. It seems like all I have to do is just kick a bit further up, but I'm nearly there. There's a lot that I wanted to talk about and that I didn't get on camera, so from this point onward, it's just going to be a long talk about my experience of this session after the camera went off due to the battery dying. Before I do though, I'm going to just have a quick shower. I might start doing it from now on in the gym, but I want to smell like I didn't even have a gym session at all. Take care of my hygiene. Before I wouldn't do it because I didn't care. But now I'm just going to do it and just see how I feel. I just think I'd rather smell pleasant and nice than just be filled with sweat and feel like my skin start to get a bit dry and like there's dry sweat all over my forehead and stuff. So I'm gonna have a shower, which I wouldn't usually do, but yeah, hence you're gonna see me change clothes from a grey t-shirt to a black one. Right, here we are in the black t-shirt. As I said, I'm probably gonna start ironing my t-shirts, maybe even my trousers from now on. I've got my t-shirts and a pair of trousers to iron, but I'll deal with that later. So, time to talk about the rest of the session. I'll do that first, then I will talk about the handstand progress I made. Nah, I'll do that first because that comes first. So I'll talk about the handstand progress, then talk about the squat progress in the end of the session, and then my thoughts on the session as a whole. So, let's begin. Handstand progress was absolutely amazing. This is the furthest that I've ever got with kicking up into handstand position, and I wouldn't have got to that point that I got to today
even though I didn't kick up into the wall, if I hadn't tried to practice my form without any wall support whatsoever, I felt, I think it must have helped with trust and feeling more comfortable with the motions of doing a handstand. So from there, from doing it without any wall support whatsoever, I was then able to kick up as I showed. And that is, again, as I said, the most progress I've ever made with handstands. And speaking of, there's some things that I want to talk about. One thing in particular, and that's this. I've never experienced having to put a whole load of shoulder pressure or a whole load of effort from my shoulders to get the move done, because I wasn't kicking up enough. So I can now use that as a gauge to kick up far enough and to not undershoot. I might get to a point where I'm doing it without wall support and I can kick up fairly well, but I might have to overshoot to work on fear of falling if I sense that I don't feel comfortable with getting into position without any wall support. After doing it with wall support, after kicking up into handstand position with wall support for a long enough time. So yeah, I could definitely use that feeling in my shoulders with just tension, like a shoulder press, for example. That was how it feel, I'd say, and it's constant. That's the sort of pressure that goes into it. So I can definitely respect the people that can do handstand push-ups without any wall support. It's not that I disrespected these individuals before, but it's just that I've never experienced how much it takes, how much physical effort it takes to actually do that. And now that I have, now that I'm beginning to experience how much physical exertion it takes to even kick up into handstand position at my current ability, my respect for the people that are advanced within calisthenics has definitely increased. All right then, so I'd say in a short while, at least, maybe within 7 days, you'll see me, and I will experience it, and it's going to be great. You'll see me kick up into handstand position on the wall, and once I've done it for the first time, I know what that will feel like, and I'll eventually do it on both legs. But just out of habit, I'd kick up with my left leg for not really any reason in particular. I'm just trying to get it done on one foot first, and then be able to do it on both feet later. What you must do on the left, you must do on the right, and vice versa. That's an ideology I've got from Scott Bernhard, and I definitely agree with it, because if I can't kick up into handstand position with my right foot, then it's not like I've really mastered the skill, in my opinion, because it's not like I can just do it whenever I want on both feet. So that's that. I purposely didn't do any more handstand. I didn't make any more handstand progress on purpose, because I wanted to get my first kick up onto the wall on camera. That's a moment that I don't want to miss, and it's a memory that I want to have on YouTube for as long as YouTube's up. And maybe, hey, who knows, one day I might even have it on my own platform, my own website, where I make my own daily logs. Now it's time to talk about squat progress. Actually, one more thing before I do that. That shoulder feeling is definitely something that I have to get used to, and I'm gonna have to lean forward a bit more than I feel comfortable with. It probably is gonna feel strange, but that's something that I'm gonna have to accept. And me not willing to accept that probably has been a part of the reason why I've been finding it difficult to actually make progress with the handstands. But anyway, that's it. Time to move on with how the squats went. These are all of the notes that I made based on my handstand progress. I even forgot to write down how many attempts that I made on the handstands, but I don't need to. I've made more than enough progress, and I feel happy with. But yeah, there's a whole load of notes. Really it's a mess. But with the space that I had here, this is all I could fit in. To be fair though, saying that, I could in fact actually bring 2 pieces of paper with me of this size that I'm showing. That way I can write down more. I've given myself more space to write down notes. I couldn't flip the page and write a whole load there because I've already written on it on the other side. So probably 2 pages, or maybe just have the plan like I've got here, but then write all of my notes to begin with, maybe like on the side of the plan to start off, and then flip it. So I might actually do that from now on. And then if there are any extra notes that I want to add, and I think 1 page and 2 sides isn't enough, then I'll bring two of those small pieces of paper. But anyway, yeah, as you can see, there's a lot going on. The reason why I think I was able to lift what I consider to be quite heavy weights, see, because I'm not used to lifting these weights, is because I just went straight to them, and my form was good enough. My ability technique wise was competent enough to be able to do 60 kg, which is around about 3/4 of my weight, on squats, but with the help of a chair. I'll call them not a chair, but one of those bench press chairs, one of the benches basically. And I did that for quite a few times at 60 kg here, as you can see around about this section, and that went well. The weight was moving really easily, and I think a part of why it was moving easily is actually for reasons outside of the session. How much I ate, I was feeling a bit hungry, but I was fine. I was feeling a bit thirsty too, but I was fine. Definitely okay enough to go through and train intensely. Outside of that, I was smelling nice. Well, I was smelling all right at least. I didn't have absolutely broken shoes like these ones. Yeah, my shoes weren't looking like a mess. For me, it matters. The shoes that I got and that I just took that are lying around, they're tight, but I can get wider ones. But I'd rather wear them for now than wear those broken shoes, because I swear it does have an impact on how I do in the sessions. Because I've got bigger issues to deal with, like the state of my shoes when I wear shoes like this, man. That ain't on. This one's not so bad. The state of this isn't so poor, but even still, that's not on. Those aren't shoes worthy of wearing. They're broken down. They're not even breaking, they're broken. Can't do that anymore, man. And I really do think that it has a negative impact on how I've been training, and it genuinely could have been a part of why I wasn't putting in as much effort as I could have been. Those sorts of little things here and there you work on and you find don't work for you, so you change them, and so I changed them, and now I'm getting to a point where I'm fulfilling more of my potential. Anyway, because the 60 kg with the squats were moving so well, both with and without the chair, I decided to push it and go to 80. Now, this is the first time ever, I think, at least as far as I'm aware, that 80 kg has moved. I've moved the 80 kg with so much ease. Now, mind you, saying that, I did get to a point where I failed, but that's just a sign that I am doing well and I'm pushing my limits. One time that I even mentioned here nearing the end of my squats, I thought I was fucked. I said that out loud, and someone was actually laughing when I said that, and I was just speaking to him for a bit. But yeah, I'm definitely doing well on this, and it's a sign that I'm pushing my limits. And for people that aren't at this sort of level where they don't need to know how to bail out of a squat and certain moves, that in fact could be a sign that you're not reaching your potential. You're not maximizing your potential. Now, this sort of advice isn't for people that are novices. For beginners maybe, but not for novices that are just about learning how to use barbells and that have stopped shying away from them. That's not for these sorts of people, but for people that are going out their way to improve technique and master that and therefore reach their full potential, this is probably the sort of advice that would be helpful for them, and definitely it's definitely helped me at this point. In terms of ability, I'd say that I'm transitioning from beginner to intermediate, because I'm now getting to a point where I'm maximizing my full potential and I'm able to give more advice than I ever have been before, with lifting more efficiently and really pushing past limits. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to like lift my own body weight within a month, but I genuinely might be able to within a month, meaning 4 weeks, so basically 28 days. I genuinely might get there and do it with fairly easily, and then past that point is the only ways up really, and start to lift more and more of my body weight. So I'd eventually get to 100% of my body weight, which at the moment I've weighed with a little bit of food in me is 85.5 kg. Then from there, 2 times, 3 times, and then just from there onward. 4 times my body weight would be 320 kg. Now, although people might be able to squat that and deadlift that, for example, it's not an amount that I think I need to lift. It's not necessary, but you don't need saying that you don't need exercise to survive either. It's not a necessary thing you need to do, but it's something I want to do. So if I pursue this path for long enough to which means and I get to that level where I'm lifting 4 times my body weight, then well done to me, on the premise I'm not injuring myself by doing it, and I am caring about my long-term health, injury wise, etc. Well done me. But yeah, that's that, and it was amazing. The weight was moving well, and although there might be some days in which it doesn't seem like that, I did well, I think, especially both in and out of the session. Warming up was helpful, stretching was helpful in terms of me getting into it, and just really pushing myself. That it was amazing. Well done me. There you go, self hug. I'll give myself a high five later. I want to talk about variables of this session and why I think I was able to get to a point where why I think I was able to do as well as I did today, in my opinion. Timing. I've uploaded a video about this, and as I said, I think mornings are when I'd train most efficiently, and I did train before noon, and I really liked it. I really liked how it went today. Hygiene was on point. Sometimes I go without showering. Sometimes I'd feel insecure about how much I'm sweating and if I'm stinking. Sometimes I have really I wouldn't have as much of a regard for hygiene as I do now, as in today. I like smelling nice going in and coming out, so I'm definitely, although I would shower before going to the gym more often than not, there would be many cases and many days when I might, like, say shower in the morning and then it's been a whole load of hours later and then I'd go to the gym. Nah, that ain't on. I can't be just out here second guessing if I'm stinking. That's not on. I've got to be clean. For the sake of my own hygiene and overall health, it's necessary. And from now on, I like how I feel showering and creaming afterwards, or putting on lotion afterwards, body cream after the session. So and also putting a bit of cologne on. So I think I'll do that from now on always, because I prefer that than like my forehead feeling like it's got sweat that's dried on it. Although I didn't mind that, I prefer this I prefer how this feels. Being hygienic, I prefer how that feels. And it's definitely something I'm gonna keep on doing. I can't be having these awful shoes anymore as well. That's another factor. Like this is not on. I want to keep these shoes as a memorabilia of how to not live my life. But yeah, man, that's not on anymore. I genuinely think it has a negative impact on my training sessions. No, we're still on. We're still good. So I won't be doing that anymore. I do have some tight shoes that I've gone and got, which were just laying around. But I will eventually get some wider shoes too. What else? Food and water. Although I was feeling a bit hungry and thirsty, I did have water. So well done to me for that. And next time, I think I should bring some simple carbs with me, like fruits and maybe even an energy drink. I could try that out. So basically, things that would replenish my glucose stores, so that when it's go time, I'm energy-wise, I'm ready. Sometimes I might not be ready mentally, so I definitely would have to think about that, and I would be able to work on that by just going for a walk, for example, before the session. So yeah, just in case, because that definitely can happen. Life happens, so it's definitely worth thinking about, and that's the plan. What else? I mean, as I said before, the way how I just went through the session was top notch. I didn't say this, but I did stretch after all of that effort I put in. And another sign that I could remember and take note of is if I want to stretch, if I'm sweating a little bit after all my effort and I want to stretch after the session, after all of that effort, I've probably done a good job. And I probably made put in enough of an effort for it to be substantial and significant in my progress, strength wise and muscle growth wise, short term, and then after longer after doing that over and over again, that come with long term growth. Doing that again, as in pushing myself and feeling like I need to stretch. I'm basically wanting to do it because of how much effort I've put in. Another thing that I didn't mention is that my core, especially my back, just behind my abs, my lats, they were feeling sore, but I stretched off. I don't really have any exercises stretches in particular to really stretch my lower core at the back, but I'll find something I can definitely do some research on, which this book probably has, and yeah, I'll use that in my training. But I've stretched most body parts as far as I'm aware anyway, except traps. I forgot about that, but I could do that after I turn the camera off, to be fair. Oh. There you go. That's it. That will do. But yeah, this session's it's been amazing. It's been amazing, man. And I definitely plan to have my sessions like this from now onward. I've got to think about what I do tomorrow. But for now, man, I feel really happy with my progress. I'll practice handstands tomorrow, but I'll probably work upper body, do some maybe pull-ups. I did 1 or 2 during the session that I didn't record. During this session, which I didn't record because the battery died. Speaking of, I can always bring my charger with me, to be fair. But other than that, I haven't really missed anything as far as I'm aware. So on that note, I've done absolutely amazing. I feel really happy with how the session went today, and I definitely plan to keep these sessions going on like this, and maybe even exceed these levels that I'm currently reaching in terms of how much I can push myself. But for now, that's it. I feel happy, and hygiene's up there, so I'm liking how I'm feeling. Smelling nice, looking nice a little bit. You know, I could shave this stubble, but it's all right. But yeah, man, that's it. Just we finito. I'm done. And cheers to taking care of my health one day at a time. Peace.